They say every storm gives you a warning. Mine started with a laugh. Not thunder. Not betrayal. Just my wife laughing too loudly at someone else's joke, and pretending I wasn't in the room. Ray's backyard was glowing that night. Strings of lights, cheap beer, and music that thought it was louder than everyone's insecurities. I stood by the grill, pretending to care about the steaks while watching her, Elena. My wife. My stranger. She wasn't dancing, she was advertising. A smile too practiced. A hand that lingered too long on a man whose name she didn't need to know. Ray nudged me. You gonna let that slide? I said, it's her night to perform. Let her finish the act. But I lied. Every nerve in me was burning. I set my beer down, crossed the deck, and said quietly, we're done here. She laughed. Relax, Noah. It's Ray's birthday. Exactly, I said. And I won't let you use it as a stage. The music stopped. The crowd noticed. I walked out. If I'd known what that walk was leading to, I'd have left 10 minutes earlier, and maybe still had a wife to argue with. When I got home, I washed my hands like I could rinse the smoke off my anger. 15 minutes later, her heels echoed through the hallway. Okay, she started, like she was calling truce after a sparring match. I got carried away. I just wanted to feel seen. I'm sorry. I said, you can mean that tomorrow. Tonight, you just want the fire out. She nodded too fast. I slept on my side. Apologies at midnight don't last till sunrise, morning. She wore my shirt like it meant something again. I made eggs. She hovered, waiting for softness. Instead, she got structure. No more couples nights, I said. No more parties where I'm your audience. You handle your friends, I handle mine. We'll keep the house joint, but fun money stays separate. She blinked. You're serious? Dead serious, I said. Respect isn't hard until you actually have to show it. You're punishing me, she said. No, I replied. I'm protecting the marriage from your boredom. That was the moment I realized, boredom is just cruelty without fangs. She tried for a week. Showed up at my shop with sandwiches, wore soft smiles, promised change. We had dinner. She cooked. Candles, jazz, something almost normal. Her phone buzzed. She glanced. Work. 2 minutes became 12. I said, you're putting out fires in a house that's already underwater. Don't start, she warned. I already did, I told her. If this works, great. If not, I'll leave quietly. That's the line that changed everything. 2 weeks later, she came to the yard, no makeup, hair tied back, my hoodie on. She helped me spread mulch and laughed like we were new again. For a second, I believed her. Then came another dinner. Another friend. Another joke at my expense. Her friend Becca smirked, so how's life under Noah's rulebook? Elena smiled sweetly. He thinks structure is romantic. My phone has a curfew. The table laughed. I didn't. Courtesy works both ways, I said evenly. Becca choked on silence. Public disrespect, public response. Fair trade. Afterward, Elena whispered, you embarrassed me. I said, you wrote the scene. I just read my line. Days passed. Fewer smiles, longer pauses. She started coming home later. I stopped asking when. Then one Tuesday night, I texted her at 9:30. Running late. Home after 10. No reply. I got home to a quiet house, empty bed, and a phone that finally buzzed. Her message said, I'm not your property. Don't call. Something inside me didn't break. It just stopped. Like a light switch. I typed back, then I'm not your husband. Don't come back. And that was it. No screaming. No drama. Just the sound of a door closing in my mind. I packed her things neatly. Suitcases by the door. Called a friend who changed the locks before midnight. When she showed up, furious, Pounding on the door, I opened it with the chain still on. Her eyes wide, mascara smudged. "What did you do?" "Finish the conversation," I said, and handed her the wedding ring. "You're insane." "No," I said. "I'm just finally awake." She stared at me, desperate. "Where am I supposed to go?" "To whoever you were performing for," I said. "They've had front row seats long enough." She cried, grabbed the bags, and left. The wheels of her suitcase sounded like punctuation marks. End of sentence. I slept. Not peacefully, but cleanly. The next morning, I filed the paperwork. Paperwork, boring, grey, and life-saving. When I dropped the envelope in the clerk's tray, I felt 10 pounds lighter. "Not happy, just unburdened," Ray asked. "You sure?" "Yeah," I said. This time I didn't leave out of anger. I left out of clarity. She called, texted, emailed. I replied only once, "Pick up your things Saturday. 10 to 12. Nothing more. Nothing less. Her father came for the boxes. He didn't say much. Just nodded. I carried them out. When I looked through the truck window, she was there, sunglasses on, head turned away. That's when I realized I wasn't losing a wife. I was releasing a ghost. Now, weeks later, my house feels like a place again. Quiet. Solid. Mine. The walls stopped listening for arguments. The coffee tastes like mornings should. And when people ask what happened, I just say, nothing dramatic. Just the moment a man decided he deserved peace more than performance. If you've ever been in a love story that turned into a courtroom, you know exactly what I mean. So tell me, would you have done it sooner? Or waited until silence became your only witness? Sometimes peace doesn't sound like forgiveness. It sounds like a lock clicking shut.